I will walk you through the main points of my study, including the background, objectives, methodology, findings, and key implications for both theory and practice. This study was inspired by my experience observing grade 11 students' writing skills while working as a trainee teacher for 1 semester. In recent years, most Omani students struggle with selecting appropriate vocabulary, generating ideas, constructing sentences, and organizing their writing. Exam-oriented teaching is one reason behind this issue, since students are merely prepared for exams and how to pass the course, regardless of mastering essential skills needed in real-life situations and for the job market. Besides, English language instruction in Oman prioritize memorization of vocabulary and grammar rules over the improvement of English communication skills, as Al-Mahrouki and Diman in 2016 mentioned in their study. Therefore, using such traditional pedagogical strategies poses obstacles to students mastering writing skills that are essential for their academic success. While students' writing problems have received increasing attention, little is known about how task-based language teaching can help improve their writing performance. This study shed light on the importance of implementing task-based language teaching in teaching writing in Oman public schools. In this study, I aimed to achieve 2 main objectives. First, to investigate Omani English language teachers' perceptions of using task-based language teaching to improve students' writing performance in Cycle 2. Second, it also intends to influence teachers' teaching practices positively by gaining a better understanding of task-based language teaching. Generally, the study attempts to show to what extent task-based language teaching can help students improve their writing skills. Based on these objectives, the research was guided by the following question. What are the perceptions of Omani English language teachers regarding the effectiveness of using task-based language teaching to improve students' writing in Cycle 2 public schools? In this study, I hypothesized that task-based language teaching may improve Omani Cycle 2 students' writing skills. The rationale of this study. In Oman, many Cycle 2 students struggle with writing accuracy. The writing often contains grammatical and structural errors which affect the clarity of their ideas. One of the main reasons for this problem is that traditional teaching methods often focus more on memorization and mechanical drills rather than real communication or usage. As a result, students learn the rules, but they rarely get the chance to use them in meaningful ways. In contrast, task-based language teaching emphasizes real-life tasks that allow learners to use the language in authentic situations. This approach not only improves their linguistic performance, but also encourages engagement and meaningful writing. Therefore, this study aims to test whether task-based language teaching can improve students' writing accuracy and motivation in the Omani EFL context. The overall aim and hypothesis. First, there may be a significant difference between students taught with task-based language teaching and those taught with traditional methods in grammar-focused writing tasks. The second one, that task-based language teaching may improve Omani Cycle 2 students' writing skills. The main aim of this study is to show to what extent task-based language teaching can help students improve their writing skills. Moving to the literature review. The literature review focused on studies that examined the impact of task-based language teaching on developing students' writing performance. According to Ratwanta in 2019, writing is a complex skill and that many students struggle with diction, the use of phrases, and the ability to connect sentences. Therefore, Bandara in 2020, Hanatone in 2018 mentioned that EFL teachers have made a variety of efforts to improve students' writing competence. In accordance with Bandara and Hanatone, these efforts usually include the application of some communication-based approaches, especially task-based language teaching. This approach was first coined by Prabhu in 1987, who defined it as a learner-centered approach in which students engage in tasks, providing them with inputs utilized in a thinking process to produce an outcome. Previous research by Bandara and Dirkashan have shown that task-based language teaching improves writing quality and increases students' motivation to learn writing. Regarding the methodology of this study investigates Omani English language teachers' perceptions of implementing task-based language teaching to enhance cycle to students' writing skills. The participants of this study were 52 English language teachers selected randomly from different Omani Cycle 2 public schools. The selected sample consisted of individuals from both genders, 29 females and 23 males. Approximately more than half of the participants had over than 15 years of experience in the teaching field, while the remaining were distributed across different experience ranges, from 10 to 15 years, 5 to 9 years, and less than 10 years. Teachers from various regions of Oman were involved, contributing to a holistic comprehension of teachers' attitudes toward the effectiveness of implementing task-based language teaching in teaching writing. The research sample was selected before the distribution of the survey. Approximately 60 teachers, male and female, including English language supervisors, were initially contacted using WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter. They were asked to fill out the questionnaire for the purpose of a research course. Each teacher was asked to share the questionnaire with their colleagues to receive more responses. However, a limited sample or limited teachers, approximately 52 teachers, filled out the survey. The research employed an online questionnaire designed using Google Forms as a primary tool for data collection. The survey consisted of close-ended questions focusing on several key areas, such as the strategies used in teaching writing and the obstacles students encounter in writing, as well as teachers' perceptions regarding the implementation of task-based language teaching, including its effectiveness in improving students' language skills, particularly writing, and the potential challenges of using this approach. Okay, now let's start with findings and results. The chart below illustrates Omani English language teachers' beliefs regarding the effectiveness of using some instructional strategies in Cycle 2 writing classes. The chart shows that there is a strong agreement among teachers regarding the effectiveness of engaging students in group work to improve their writing performance, as approximately 86% of teachers agreed. This finding actually supports previous studies that found that group work, reading texts, consistent feedback, and the use of dictionaries improve students' writing as a pass and al-Bakri, as well as at-Tai mentioned in their studies. The chart below describes Omani English language teachers' perceptions regarding the challenges students face in writing. The chart depicts here a high level of agreement among teachers regarding the negative impact of students' limited vocabulary on their ability to express ideas probably while writing, as 92% of teachers agreed with this statement. According to Mustafa, students face challenges in writing due to limited vocabulary, spelling difficulties, and grammar issues. The majority of participants were willing to implement task-based language teaching, as 90.4% of teachers indicated that they had an interest in implementing this approach in their classrooms. It appears that 96.2% of teachers indicated agreement with the effectiveness of using task-based language teaching to facilitate the writing process for Cycle 2 students. The majority of participants indicated that this approach helps students enrich their writing with new vocabulary, explore different perspectives, and generating diverse ideas, as well as using grammatical rules correctly. Despite the positive attitude teachers showed toward task-based language teaching, there was a broad agreement among them regarding the potential challenges of this approach. This includes the following beliefs. Task-based language teaching requires a lot of time compared to other traditional instructional approaches, and as well as teachers don't receive enough training that encourages them to incorporate task-based language teaching into their English classes, and that students' insufficient linguistic knowledge hinders their abilities to engage with tasks and fully benefit from the task-based language teaching approach. All these results are consistent with the findings of previous studies done by Dirk Shan, Ahmed Ampeden, and Neem, in which they indicate the follows. Task-based language teaching improves writing quality by developing essential components, including vocabulary, grammar, organization, and content. Task-based language teaching helps students use grammar correctly in writing. Implementing task-based language teaching directs teachers to identify students' writing difficulties, therefore supplying them with feedback on various aspects of writing. Task-based language teaching boosts students' motivation to write. In conclusion, it can be stated that the majority of teachers considered task-based language teaching as a beneficial instructional approach, as it effectively exposes them to rich language input, enhancing their various language skills and language learning, both academically and psychologically. Some important limitations needed to be considered in this study is that the sample size of 52 participants may restrict the generalizability of the findings. While the quantitative survey provided valuable insights into teachers' perspectives on this approach, a qualitative methodology is needed for a deeper exploration of teaching experiences and teachers' perspectives. Also, the study focused on exploring teachers' perspectives rather than direct observation for the practical application of task-based language teaching in classrooms. These results suggest that while teachers believe in the benefits of task-based language teaching, Successful implementation requires greater institutional and professional support. The findings of this study offer significant implications for the Omani educational system. English language teachers might get the idea of designing task-based lessons by selecting meaningful and authentic tasks that allow students to utilize English in real-life situations. Also, teachers might incorporate group work activities during writing classes where students collaborate to write texts concerning authentic life situations, benefiting from the linguistic input teachers provide. The findings of this study might also help curriculum designers to integrate task-based language teaching activities into Cycle 2 English language curricula to ensure consistency and conformity with language objectives. This study also can assist policymakers in providing teachers with workshops and professional development programs on using task-based language teaching to improve writing instruction. To conclude, this study reminds us that effective teaching is not only about methods, but about how teachers adapt and apply them in real classrooms. Task-based language teaching offers a powerful way to make learning more meaningful. That's it. Thank you for listening.